Hello everyone, this is part 13 of What If Naruto Was Betrayed and Leaves Konoha, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Hello, Sakura. The pink-haired Konoha flinched after hearing her former fiancé greet her in a cold-filled voice, and she wondered why he was speaking to her in such a tone. Hesitantly, she spoke up and asked, Sasuke-kun, what are you doing out here? I'm out here per Hokage Tsunade's orders to search for Naruto. The more important question is why you are here. I'm here per Lady Tsunade's orders as well, to search for Naruto-kun. That is a lie, Sakura. I thought I taught you better than to lie to a comrade. Kakashi stated with disappointment, as he and Kurenai arrived at the scene. Kakashi-sensei. Sakura exclaimed in surprise. Kakashi-sensei, Kurenai-sensei, it's good of you two to get dressed before you joined us. Sasuke greeted in amusement. Kurenai immediately began blushing and Kakashi stammered. You saw us. Yes, I went to get you when I learned we had unexpected visitors from our home, but that's not important. Please tell us how you know Sakura is lying. Lady Tsunade informed us that Sakura went AWOL from the Leaf Village, as did Hinata, Ino, and Kiba to search for Naruto. My mission along with Kurenai is to bring all of you back to the village. So why did you lie to me, Sakura, again? Sasuke asked his former teammate. I didn't want to hurt you more after our breakup, by telling you I deserted the village to search for Naruto-kun. Don't you dare address him like that, you bitch. Ino's hate-filled voice rang out, as she, Naruto and Hinata approached the unexpected reunion of Genin Team Number 7. Pig. Sakura spat in disdain, before her gaze fell upon Naruto and was about to greet him, but the glare he was directing towards her silenced the young woman. Hinata. Kiba cried out, as he struggled to sit up after seeing his ex-wife. For her part, Hinata just looped an arm through Naruto's and scowled at Kiba, before greeting the Inuzuka heir in a icy tone of voice. Kiba growled in jealous fury, when he saw Hinata entwine her arm with Naruto's. Yugito arrived and saw Naruto with Hinata and also with this new blonde girl from his village. Her Jinchuriki-enhanced sense of smell immediately told her what had transpired between the three of them, and she lowered her head in sadness. See what you get with your indecisiveness. You're sad because you've fallen for this delicious blonde hunk of man meat, and now not just one, but two females have claimed him for themselves. Nibby purred with disgust inside Yugito's mind. Would you shut up? I've not fallen for him, I've not. Yugito silently snapped at her tenant. Deny it all you want, but you know you have, or maybe you're just sad that the princess and now this blonde-haired vixen from his homeland have now gotten a taste of that meat that you've secretly been wanting the past few weeks, but have been too afraid to go after. You're pathetic, and now you've lost any chance to be with him now. Shut up. Yugito cried out loud in an attempt to silence her biju, startling everyone present, as tears threatened to spill from her eyes. Yugito-chan, are you alright? Hi, I'm alright. My tenant just decided to have a few words with me, that's all. Yugito quickly stammered, as she wiped her eyes, before stealing a quick glance at Hinata and Ino. Hinata saw Yugito glance over and felt concern for her, as the young woman must have realized what had transpired between Naruto, Ino, and herself only a few hours earlier. And if the Kumo woman hadn't realized it yet, then Sasuke's sarcastic greeting to Naruto took care of any lingering doubt. Dobe, it's nice of you three to get dressed before you joined us. Sasuke greeted once again in amusement. Team, wait, how do you know? I stopped by your tent earlier to inform you we had visitors from the Leaf Village. And before you blame your guards, don't. I didn't give them much of a choice other than to let me in, so I take full responsibility for it. Damn it, team, I will have a private talk later. Naruto declared with a hard edge to his voice. I look forward to it. I'm sure it's a very interesting tale you have to tell about what I saw. Both Hinata and Ino were blushing furiously, as Sasuke spoke, before Naruto said. Like I said, we'll talk later. Now, what should I do with these two uninvited and unwanted guests from home? Naruto-kun. Sakura softly said, saddened by his tone of voice. I told you, billowboard brow, don't call him that. You lost that right a long time ago and you know it. Ino spat with anger. Cut me loose, Naruto barker, and get away from my wife. Kiba barked in fury. Quiet, you mongrel, you will address Naruto-sama with respect with that tongue of yours or you will lose that tongue. Daisuke threatened, before he jabbed Kiba in the ribs with the handle of his axe. Daisuke, that's enough, Naruto ordered with authority. Forgive me, Naruto-sama, Daisuke replied, while bowing in respect. You and the other guards leave and inform Kenpachi that I want no one to disturb us. This is a private matter with regards to my former comrades from my homeland. As you command, sir. Momo, you go with them as well. Sasuke ordered his first lieutenant. As you wish, Sasuke. Momo softly replied. A minute later, both Sakura and Kiba were still bound and kneeling in front of Hinata and Naruto, who asked in a harsh and commanding tone of voice. Sakura, Kiba, why are you two here? Like I said earlier, I came searching for you, Naruto-K. Naruto. Sakura timidly answered. I'm here for my wife, so get your filthy arm off of her, before I rip it off. Kiba threatened, as he glared at the blonde Jinchuriki, while struggling to break the ropes tying his hands behind his back. You best curb that tone of voice with me, Kiba. We all know your bark is worse than your bite. Naruto sarcastically stated. I'll show you how bad my bite can be, you bastard. Kiba announced, as he rose from the ground and took a step forward, only to stop, when he saw everyone else take a step forward towards him. Kiba, as your superior and former sensei, I'm ordering you to stand down. Kurenai commanded to her former student. Why are all of you protecting this demon? He stole my wife and I want Hinata back. Kiba angrily questioned to his fellow Leaf Village shinobi. Hinata is not your wife. Sakura shouted at Kiba. What? What do you mean I'm not his wife? Hinata stammered in confusion. Shut up, Sakura. Kiba growled threateningly. Just what I said, Hinata, you're not Kiba's wife, at least not anymore. I said shut the fuck up, Sakura, or I'll kill you. Kiba shouted, as he took a menacing step towards the pink-haired Kunoiki beside him, before he stopped when he felt the blade of Sasuke's Zanpakuto on his throat. Go ahead, Sakura, the mutt isn't going to be killing anyone at the moment. Sasuke declared with a smirk on his face. I found out from Kiba's sister Hana, you're no longer married to him, Hinata. His mother and your father have legally dissolved the marriage between you and him. You fucking bitch. Kiba spat in a rage, before Sasuke applied a little more pressure to the blade on the Inuzuka's throat. As of right now, you're a single woman again. Sakura proclaimed, ignoring Kiba. It took a moment for Hinata to process what she had just learned, but when she finally did, her face lit up in a bright smile, as she turned her head to gaze lovingly at Naruto. Grr, I don't give a damn what Okasan and Hiashi have done. The two of them can go to hell. I didn't agree to a divorce and neither did Hinata. Kiba growled in protest. Hinata turned back to glare at Kiba and slapped him, as she spoke in a hate-filled tone of voice no one had ever thought was possible from her. You ignorant, pathetic piece of garbage. You honestly believe that I wouldn't agree to divorce you? I wouldn't have married you in the first place if you and my father didn't blackmail me by using my sister. Hinata, what do you mean? Kurenai asked with interest. Shut up, you bitch, you're my wife, you swore not to say anything. If you do, I'll make you regret it. Kiba screamed at Hinata. An instant later, Naruto was in front of the Inuzuka heir, delivering a powerful punch to his face, sending his former friend tumbling backwards for several feet. Before Kiba could even get up, he felt Naruto's boot pressing down on his throat, as the blonde Jinchuriki said with malice. If you ever speak to or threaten Hinata-chan like that again, I will kill you. You're getting a one-time pass right now because we were once friends. However, that's the only pass you're getting, so I suggest you keep that filthy mouth shut and let Hinata-chan inform the others about the truth behind her marriage to you. Naruto pressed his foot down to add a little bit more emphasis to what he had just said to Kiba. What does Naruto mean about the truth of your marriage to Kiba? I had to marry Kiba 3 years ago to save my sister from him, Kurenai-sensei. Hinata spat with bile and loathing of her former husband. Hinata, I'm your best friend and even I don't know what you're talking about. Ino stated in bewilderment. When my father and Kiba first approached me with the arranged marriage, I vehemently refused them. My father even threatened to have me branded with the caged bird seal unless I agreed, and I still told them no. I told him and that worthless pile of shit currently under Naruto-kun's boot that would marry him and only him. This angered both my father and Kiba greatly. My father, because Kiba had paid him a great deal of money for my hand in marriage, and Kiba because he wanted me so badly. They then informed me that if I didn't go through with the arranged marriage to Kiba, then Hanabi would be required to take my place and she would be branded with the caged bird seal so Kiba could more easily control her. An audible gasp of shock was exhaled by many of the Leaf Village shinobi present, as they turned to look at Kiba with disgust, before Hinata continued on. If all of you remember, Hanabi and Konohamaru had fallen in love with one another and promised to marry when they reached legal age. I couldn't let my father and Kiba destroy their happiness. I had to marry Kiba to save Hanabi and Konohamaru, so I relented and agreed to the arranged marriage, even though I knew that in saving Hanabi's happiness, I would be destroying my own. And I've lived in my own private hell for the past 3 years because of it. Hinata explained, before she began to waver, as the stress of the situation was overwhelming to her. Before Hinata fell, she was caught by Ino, who lowered her friend gently to the ground, as she exclaimed in distress. Hinata-chan, what's wrong, are you alright? Naruto, cut me loose, let me help Hinata. Sakura shouted. A moment later, Naruto had freed Sakura and they both rushed over to where Hinata lay. As her hands glowed with green chakra, Sakura began to scan Hinata's vitals. A couple of minutes later, she deactivated her chakra and with Ino helped the Hyuga girl to her feet, while everyone anxiously waited for her diagnosis. You're fine, Hinata, your blood pressure was elevated, which is probably what caused you to feel dizzy, but it's coming back down now. I suppose I'm the first one to congratulate you. Congratulate me, what do you mean, Sakura? Hinata asked in confusion. You're pregnant, Sakura announced in a saddened soft voice, as she knew who the father must be. Hinata's eyes grew wide in astonishment and her hands instinctively rose up to her stomach. Everyone was momentarily stunned at the news, but the silence was broken by Kiba, who still bound rose to his knees and exclaimed joyously. Damn, it's about time, Hinata, we've been trying to produce an heir for 3 years. What makes you think it's yours? Hinata spat with malice at her ex-husband. What do you mean? Kiba asked in confusion. It's a pity your intelligence never increased as you grew up. You're still the ignorant and simple-minded little boy you were at 13 years old as you are now. I haven't been trying to have a child for the last 3 years, and if I was attempting to have a child, it certainly wouldn't have been with a fool like you. So I took the appropriate measures to make certain that would never happen. What are you talking about? You idiot, I may have been forced to marry you, but I'll be damned if I would bear you a child. I've used a contraceptive jutsu our entire marriage, because there is only one man I want to gift a child to, and that isn't you. But, we've been trying to have a kid since our honeymoon. Kiba shouted in obvious puzzlement. Don't you dare refer to that night as our honeymoon. Call it for what it really was, you contemptible son of a bitch. It was the first time that you raed me. Hinata screamed in pained fury with tears running down her face. A collective gasp was uttered by everyone present, as Naruto hugged Hinata in an attempt to comfort her, while she cried into his chest. The anger and rage from everybody began to rise, as they glared at Kiba, who was shivering under the oppressive pressure of the killing intent being directed towards him by all those present. Finally it was Kurenai who couldn't stand it anymore and walked over and punched Kiba in the nose, breaking it, as she screamed with fury at her former student. You filthy fucking bastard, I'm ashamed to have ever called you a student of mine. You are nothing but a disgrace, both as a shinobi and a man. You fucking bitch. If my hands weren't still tied, I'd kill you for striking me like that. I didn't rape anyone, it was our honeymoon and all Hinata would do is sit there and cry. She wouldn't put out like she was supposed to, so I took what was rightfully mine as her husband. And I've done so numerous times since then, when she continued to refuse me during our marriage. Kiba spat in angered explanation, as he rose to his knees once again. Hinata, why didn't you tell me? Naruto whispered in a pain-filled voice. I couldn't tell you because of the threat Kiba and my father still held over Hanabi and Konohamaru. But why didn't you tell me about this now? I was afraid to tell you, Naru-kun. What were you afraid of? Was it me? And no, I wasn't afraid of you, I was afraid of losing you if you knew what had happened to me. I was scared that you wouldn't want me anymore if you found out how used and dirty I am because what Kiba has done me. Naruto hugged Hinata a bit tighter, as she softly wept into his chest, while he stroked her back and said in a sad yet comforting voice. Hinata-chan, I'm so sorry you had to suffer such vile acts these past 3 years. If I had known, I swear to Kami I would have rescued you. The Hyuga and Inuzuka clans be damned if they tried to stop me. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you, my Haim. Hinata could barely believe what she was hearing. This man, this wonderful man that she was forced to betray, was actually blaming himself for the fate that befell her. What's more, there wasn't a hint of disgust for her in his voice or in the way he held her. Lifting her head and looking up at him with tear-filled eyes, Hinata hesitantly asked. You're not disgusted with me? Naruto looked down at the Hyuga girl he loved and held in his arms with confusion etched on his face before saying in bewilderment, as he pulled away from their embrace. Why would I be disgusted with you? You did nothing wrong, and what happened to you no one should ever have to endure. It's foolish of you to think that way. It's not foolish, Naruto-kun, but a deep-seated fear all women share about their one loved ones after they've suffered what Hinata and I had to suffer. Yugito stated, as she walked over and then embraced Hinata in a sisterly hug, while whispering in comfort and understanding to the Hyuga girl. It appears we're more alike than I thought, Hinata, for I too know the pain, despair and loneliness you've had to bear these past few years because of what that bastard did to you. Naruto had been trying to keep his anger in check, but the recognition of what had happened to both Hinata and Yugito finally hit him like a ton of bricks and he growled out threateningly. I promised you, Yugito, that once I get my hands on Madara, I will make him and the rest of the Akatsuki pay for what they did to you. However, what Kiba did to you, Hinata-chan, only makes me want to kill him that much more, and there's nothing stopping me from turning that son of a bitch into a pile of ashes right now. Instantly Naruto was now standing over Kiba with his right hand ablaze in red chakra. Kiba was frozen in absolute terror, as the killing intent directed upon him by his former friend was overwhelming. However, before Naruto could grip the Inuzuka's throat and reduce to ashes the Leaf Village Junin, a hand shot out and grasped his wrist, holding it in place. When Naruto turned his head to see who was preventing him from attaining his justified vengeance for Hinata, he growled out with furious rage. Hatake, I would let go of me unless you want to share the same fate as this piece of shit. Naruto, after what I've just heard, I would like nothing more than for you to take revenge on Kiba for what he has done, but I can't let you kill him. Lady Tsunde's orders to Kurenai and I were for everyone to return, safe and unharmed. I don't give a damn about Bar-chan's orders, so you had better let go, now. Naru-kun, please stop, don't kill him. Hinata cried out. Hinata-chan, why would you beg me to stop after what he's done to you? I would like nothing more than Kiba's death if it only affected me, but it doesn't. His death would cause Sum-san and Hana great sorrow, and I care too much about them for that to happen. Even it means foregoing any desires for vengeance I harbor towards their son and brother. You're too merciful, my Haim. Naruto, do you really want to associate the day you found out you're going to be a father with killing a man you once called a friend and comrade? Kakashi asked. Kakashi's words had the desired effect upon his enraged former student, and after a moment the crackling red chakra around Naruto's hand subsided before disappearing completely, as the news that he was going to be a dad finally sunk in. I'm going to be a dad. Naruto stammered to himself in disbelief, before he turned back to Kiba, who was still quivering in fear. You're a lucky man, Kiba, because I wanted to kill you real bad, and I still might if you push me. Sasuke, do me a favor and throw this piece of trash into the prison pit, until I figure out what to do with him. No problem, Naruto, and congratulations. Come on, dog boy, time to put you into your cage for the day. Sasuke stated in sarcastic amusement, as he lifted Kiba up by the scruff of his collar. Get your damn hands off of me, Uchiha scum. Kiba snapped in protest, only to receive a kick to his backside from Sasuke, as he escorted the Inuzuka heir away. Naruto looked over to see Hinata being glommed by Ino, Kurenai, and Yugito, while Sakura stood off to the side. Sighing to himself, he turned to Kakashi and said, Kakashi, I don't think Sakura is going to cause any problems like Kiba, so I'm not going to imprison her. Do me a favor and fill her in on what's going on and to what we have agreed to. See if she is willing to help us against Madara and the Akatsuki. I shall, Naruto, but I think Sakura really wants to talk to you. I know, but I have other females I need to have conversations with first. I'll talk to Sakura at some point, but I'm not ready right now. I understand, and I have to say I'm impressed you're being so civil about her considering your rather tumultuous relationship the two of you has had. She's a superb medical nin and powerful Kunoichi in her own right. Sakura would definitely be a help to us in our upcoming fight if she is willing to. so I'm not so foolish as to refuse her help despite my personal feelings about her. Naruto and Kakashi then walked over to the group of excited females, and while Kakashi motioned to Sakura to walk with him, Naruto wrapped his arm lovingly around Hinata and bravely endured the multitude of questions and comments, mainly from Kurenai, about a variety of subjects surrounding Hinata's pregnancy and his intentions for the future. As the Naruto clone stealthily made his way through the castle of the Spring Country's ruler Princess Kazuhana Kayuki, he was ever alert to learn all the information he could about the enemy his master would soon be facing. He had already learned that the followers of the Akatsuki numbered in the neighborhood of 125 to 150, with the majority of them being of low-level chunin strength. Now he needed to find out as much as he could about who the main power players would be. Spying an air duct, the clone quickly climbed into it and crawled his way towards the throne room. Upon reaching the throne room, he spied through the air duct grate and listened to conversation taking place. So you're saying you can only revive 2 of my former Akatsuki minions, Orochimaru? No, Madara, what I said was I could only completely control 2 of your Akatsuki brethren through use of the Edo Tensei technique. I could revive more, but my control would not be absolute, and if they chose to fight against the technique, they might break free and turn against USSSSSSS in the battle. Well, that eliminates Pain, Conan, and Itachi. For surely those 3 would fight the technique and betray me just as they did in the past. I'm afraid your choices are limited even further, Madara-sama, as due to the lack of having a physical body to resurrect, Kisame, Sasori, and Sugetsu are also eliminated. Kabuto contritely stated to the elder Uchiha. No loss there, all 3 of them were a pain in the ass, as far as I'm concerned. Deidara snorted derisively. It takes one to know one. Zetsu commented with contempt towards his fellow Akatsuki member. Shut up half in half, or I'll introduce you to my art, intimately. Deidara spat back in angered retort. Silence, I'm in no mood for either of you and your petty insults. Madara exclaimed in irritated anger. Both Deidara and Zetsu immediately went silent, as neither one of them wanted to experience their leader's wrath. After a minute of silence, the Uchiha leader spoke again and stated with certainty. I know of the perfect 2 to resurrect, their power and skills very nearly rival my own, and their loyalty to me is without question. Who do you wish me to revive? Orochimaru asked in curiosity. You will revive Obito, Uchiha, and Kakazu. I shall need their bodies to perform the Edo Tensei. They will available to you tomorrow. A knock on the door interrupted any further conversation, and Madara motioned to Zetsu. Knowing what his leader wanted, Zetsu immediately morphed and changed into the form of Dotu, the former leader of the Land of Spring. A moment later, one of the Akatsuki followers brought in Princess Kazuhana Kayuki and led her to stand before Madara and the supposed Dotu. The young ruler leveled a heated glare at both men before announcing with a sneer. You can drop the act, Madara, of using this phony Dotu. It might have fooled me initially, but I know now he's nothing but a fake. It doesn't matter now, he served his purpose by instilling fear back into your people once again. Zetsu, revert back to your natural form. With a nod to his leader, Zetsu immediately reverted back to his black and white body and dropped his henge while stating. I'm glad I won't have to change back into that form anymore, it was too confining. Why am I here? Kayuki asked. You're here because I've grown weary of waiting for your supposed champion Naruto to arrive and save you, as you so foolishly believe he will. Naruto will come and rescue me and my people. And when he arrives, he's going to kick your ass once again, just like he did in the 4th Great Shinobi War. Kayuki replied, her defiance towards Madara and confidence in Naruto echoing in her voice. Bah, your hero worship of the Kyuubi Jinchuriki is nauseating and your faith in him is misplaced. He's had several weeks to come riding in on his white horse to rescue you and the people of your country, and yet where is he? He will come, I know he will. Well, perhaps I can speed him along by just killing you and let the news of your death reach his ears, and then he will rush to avenge you. Madara spat in angered irritation, as he signaled the Akatsuki follower behind the Kayuki. The man immediately pulled out a dagger and was about to stab the princess when suddenly there was an explosion. Kayuki had heard the Akatsuki henchman unsheathe his dagger and closed her eyes and waited calmly for the final strike to come that would end her life. She then heard an explosion and felt something warm strike her face. Tentatively opening her eyes, the rightful ruler of the Spring Country was greeted with a sight that shocked her. There, standing beside her with a Rasengan in his hand, was none other than Naruto. Looking over, she then saw the headless body of the Akatsuki follower who was about to kill her. Kiyuki then realized that the explosion had come from Naruto thrusting his Rasengan into her would-be killer's head, obliterating it, as she reached up to wipe some of his blood off of her face. Looking up towards Naruto's grinning face, she heard him say, "Sorry about the blood, princess, the Rasengan can be a bit messy at times." "Namikaze, so you've finally arrived," Madara declared, as he rose from the throne he had been sitting in. "Well, sort of yes and sort of no, Uchiha team," the clone stated in amusement, as he twirled a kunai in his hand. Meanwhile, Madara signaled Deidara, Zetsu, Orochimaru, and Kabuto into attack positions, before he asked, "What are talking about? My master would be very cross with you if you had killed the princess here. Show a little patience, Madara, my master knows you're here, so there's no reason to kill the princess or anyone else to bring him to you. He's eager to meet with you once again and will be here very soon." "What do you mean by your master?" "He's a shadow clone," Orochimaru answered. "Correct, Oro team, you might be a slithering, backstabbing traitor, but my master never thought you were stupid." "Why thank you, clone, SSSSS, since you are here, am I to assume that the real Naruto is nearby?" Ha, 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 oh no, my master can create a clone that will last for days and he doesn't even have to be near them to maintain it. No, Master Naruto is a few days away, but he is coming and I can promise all of you that this time none of you will be returning once he is done. An empty threat from the QB brat. Madara spat dismissively. "Madara, it would be in our best interest to capture this clone." The snake Sanin hissed. The clone turned to Kiyuki when he saw Deidara, Zetsu, Orochimaru, and Kabuto advance towards him and said to the princess in a comforting voice, "I wish I could rescue you right now, princess, but do not worry. Master Naruto will be here very soon and you and your people will once again be free." The Naruto clone then whirled around and tossed 5 kunai with exploding tags attached to them towards his enemies. As Madara and the rest of his minions jumped away from each exploding kunai, the clone then took his remaining kunai and stabbed himself in the chest, exploding instantly in a cloud of smoke. When the smoke dissipated from the explosions, Orochimaru inwardly cursed to himself. Madara might not realize the ramifications of the clone's destruction, but he did. The snake Sanin silently wondered how much information the clone had gathered and had now transferred back to the blonde Jinchuriki upon its demise. It had been a few hours since Kiba and Sakura had been captured and their subsequent reunion with their former friends and comrades at the Crimson Bandit encampment. This had given Yugito time to contemplate her current situation with regards to Naruto and herself. The Nibi vessel had already decided that at the very least she was going to help him in his upcoming battle against Madara and the Akatsuki. If for no other reason than the chance to gain some justified revenge against the very people who had made her life a living hell for the past 8 years. But what about after the battle? What was her future then with Naruto? Do I even have a future with him now? Yugito thought sadly to herself, as she recalled the sight of Naruto with Hinata and Ino earlier. The former Cloud Kanoiki thoughts were interrupted when she heard Hinata's voice outside of her tent-seeking entrance. Granting permission, Yugito saw the Hyuga girl enter and realized she had been getting closer to Hinata on a daily basis since they met. Even to the point that the young blonde woman almost considered her a friend now. In sad sort of way, Yugito now felt even closer to Hinata upon learning that the girl had suffered through the same horrific fate that she had also endured. As Hinata sat down next to Yugito, she faced her fellow Kanoiki who said in a broken voice, I didn't get a chance to say this to you before, but congratulations on the news of your child with Naruto-ku. I mean Naruto. I'm sure the two of you must be very happy about it. Thank you, Yugito. I think initially Naru-kun was more surprised than happy, but we've talked and he is pleased at the thought of becoming a father. As for me, it was always my dream to have a child with him, so I'm very excited that it has come true. I'm sure the two of you will be happy together in the future and I wish you both the best. Yugito stammered in a choked voice as she struggled not to cry upon recognizing the answer to her previous question, as she thought sadly to herself. I have no future with Naruto-kun now. Thank you, Yugito-chan, but I didn't come here to talk to you about Naru-kun's and mine's future. What did you want to talk to me about? I wanted to talk to you about Naru-kun's future with you. What do you think I'm going to cause problems for you and Naruto-kun? Damn it, I mean Naruto. Because if you do, then you're wrong. I know Naruto has loved you for a very long time and that you love him. I care for the both of you, so you need not worry about me causing any trouble in the future. As soon as Madara is defeated, I will quietly bow out of your lives so the two of you and that blonde friend of yours can have a blissful life together. Yugito replied with gritty determination, even though her heart was breaking as she spoke, while a lone tear rolled down her face. No. No, you misunderstand me. I never thought you were going to cause problems. And I certainly don't want you to just disappear from my life and certainly not from Naruto-kun's life. Hinata exclaimed in a worried tone of voice. I don't understand, Hinata, why would you want me around? Yugito asked in obvious confusion. I want around because I don't want to lose a friend and I also don't want Naruto-kun to lose someone I know he cares deeply for. If that were to happen he would be saddened by it. So you're saying you want me in yours and Naruto's life? I do. I know you care deeply for Naruto-kun, perhaps even love him. So I don't want him to lose one of his precious people. And if you want to pursue something more with him, I will not stand in your way. I'm still confused about all of this. Just what are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that I care a great deal about you, and if you come to love Naruto-kun as I do, then I wouldn't mind sharing him with you. Do you really mean that, Hinata? Yugito exclaimed, in astonishment when she heard the Hyuga girl's suggestion. Yes, I want us to remain friends and I don't want you to see you hurt. You're my friend and I couldn't stand to see you in pain because I'm with Naruto-kun. Yugito sat there in stunned silence trying to process and contemplate what Hinata was offering, before she looked over and asked. What about your blonde friend? What does she think about all of this? Ino and I have spoken about this and there's only one thing we care about and that's Naruto-kun's happiness. As long as you truly love him and he loves you, then like me she doesn't have any problems or concerns about sharing Naruto-kun with you. Are you saying you want a relationship with me like you have with Ino? Because I'm not ready for something like that and I don't know if I ever will be. You know about Ino and me, I suppose you overheard Sasuke this morning. I knew before the emo duck butt said anything. One of the advantages of being a Jinchuriki is a heightened sense of smell. I see. Well, to answer your question, no, I'm not suggesting that you engage in a relationship with me or Ino or the both of us similar to what Ino and I have taken our relationship to. If you don't mind me asking, what is the relationship between the two of you? It's complicated, as both Ino and I are still trying to come to grips with it. We're not lesbians if that is what you're wondering about. I'm not, nor is she attracted to other females. Initially our relationship started off as friendship growing up. As we got older, that friendship grew stronger and the bond between us grew deeper. And as that bond continued to grow, eventually, we both realized that we held a deep love for one another and for Naruto-kun. And neither one of us could stand to see the other one in pain because we were with him. So we just took our love that we felt for each other to another level because of the love we both share for Naruto-kun. I know Ino truly loves both Naruto and me and she knows that I truly love her and Naruto-kun. I'm not sure if that answers your question or makes sense to you, Yugito-chan, but that's the best explanation I can give. It answers my question and in a way it does make sense given your relationships with both Naruto-kun and Ino. I also appreciate that you weren't suggesting I engage into that type of relationship with you and Ino. I'm not opposed to it and I don't think there is anything wrong with it, but like I said I don't think I'm ready for something like that and I don't know if I ever will be. I understand. Thank you Hinata for making such an offer, but it doesn't matter. Naruto-kun might not want a relationship with me, now that he has the two of you. So he and I being together in such a way may be nothing more than just a foolish fantasy on my part. Do you love Naruto-kun? Hinata asked. I don't know. I'm not sure I even know what love is anymore after the hell I went through at the hands of the Akatsuki. I do know that I care about Naruto-kun a great deal and I feel some empathy for him because he is a Jinchuriki like me, but I'm not sure if that's love. Well, I believe Naruto-kun cares very much for you as well, Yugito-chan, which is why Ino and I don't mind sharing him with you. So if the two of you discover that you do truly love one another then we want the both of you to be happy. Thank you Hinata. However, you and Naruto-kun do need to talk about your feelings for one another. I also need to talk to him to let him know that if he desires to pursue a relationship with you, that Ino and I are fine with him doing that. So, let me talk to him first, but I'll need some time, okay? Yugito nodded her head in understanding, as both women rose to their feet and hugged one another in friendship and understanding, before Hinata exited the tent. Naruto exhaled a weary sigh, as he entered the tent he shared with Hinata and now he supposed with Ino as well after last night. The blonde Jinchuriki stripped off his now torn-up shirt and grumbled in annoyance as he looked at it. It was one of his favorite shirts and now it was ruined thanks to Sasuke. However, Naruto knew it was actually his own fault that his shirt was now a tattered mess. He was the one who chose along with Kakashi to help the team finally unlock his Bankai, which Naruto had to admit was quite impressive to see. Sasuke's Bankai transforms Zabimaru into a massive version of its Shikai form, resembling a skeleton of a snake. Naruto noticed that Zabimaru gained many more and much larger segments, resembling a mix between a snake's vertebral column and the pick-like protrusions of his Shikai segments. It also gained a snake-like head about the size of a large carriage. Naruto also took note that like himself Sasuke's appearance also changed with the release of his Bankai, as he gained a fur cowl around his neck. The cowl appears to be the fur of an ape and an ape's skull can be seen over Sasuke's left shoulder, while the rest of the fur extends to cover his right arm. Naruto was glad that the team had finally unlocked his Bankai and now with Kakashi's help was discovering the power of it and what types of attacks he could use. Sasuke was proving he could be a very valuable asset in their upcoming fight against Madara and the remaining Akatsuki. Naruto smirked to himself, as he remembered Sasuke being blown away by the power of the initial release of his Bankai. What amused him about that was the sight of panicked and distressed Momo rushing over to help him and Sasuke blushing at the attention she was giving him. The team actually seemed genuinely embarrassed and apologetic towards the young girl for making her worry about him. Naruto thought to himself in amusement. Naruto was broken out of his musings when he felt a pair of smooth slender arms encircle his torso from behind and embrace him tightly, before he felt a soft kiss placed on his back. Turning around, he wrapped his arms around Hinata's waist and lifted the girl up to place a passionate kiss on her lips. After a minute, both Naruto and Hinata pulled away from each other panting for breath, as he lowered her back to the ground. Leaning forward until their foreheads were touching, Naruto smiled brightly at Hinata and stated lovingly. I swear Hina-Heim, you keep greeting me like that and I may never leave this tent ever again. Hinata sweetly giggled, before she placed a chaste kiss on Naruto's lips and pulled away and asked. What brings you here? I thought you were helping Sasuke to achieve his Bankai. I was and I did, the team is working with Kakashi-sensei right now. I just came back to get a change of clothes, before I go back and help him out. Oh, I was hoping you might have some time so we could talk. We have some time, my Heim, I don't have to go back right away, what's on your mind? Hinata nodded her head and sat down on the floor and Naruto followed suit sitting next to her. Clearing her throat and nervously exhaling a small sigh, Hinata looked over to Naruto and said. I wanted to talk about you and Yugito-chan. Naruto stiffened a bit and his hand involuntarily went to the back of his head rubbing it, as he always did when he hesitant or nervous about something, before he stammered in response. What about Yugito-chan and me? Naru-kun, don't be nervous, I'm not upset or anything with you. Hinata stated in loving assurance. Oh okay, what exactly do you want to know? Naru-kun, I know you have feelings for Yugito-chan and I also know that she has feelings for you. I just wanted to let you know that if you want to pursue a relationship with her, then you have my own and Ino's blessing to do so. We will not be opposed to it or cause you or her any trouble or problems because of it. I don't understand Hina-Heim. Naruto asked with a bewildered look plastered on his face. Ino and I just want you to be happy and if being a relationship with Yugito-chan makes you happy then we don't want you not to pursue it because of us. Are you and Ino dumping me? Naruto stammered in a hurt tone of voice. No, we love you, that's not what we're saying or doing. Hinata exclaimed in a panicked voice. I'm still confused about all of this. Alright, before we go any farther in this conversation, I need to ask you about yourself and Ino. I would have asked this last night, but our activities sort of prevented any rational thought from me at that moment. I understand, what do you wish to know? Well, how long have you and Ino been, lesbians? Naruto sheepishly asked. We are not lesbians, Hinata snapped angrily. I'm sorry. Naruto exclaimed frantically, while waving his arms in front of him. Hinata merely closed her eyes and exhaled a deep breath, before she opened them again and in a calm voice said, "No, I'm sorry Naru-kun, I shouldn't have snapped at you like that. The truth is my relationship with Ino is complicated, but I'll try to explain how it came to be the best that I can. As I said, neither Ino or myself are lesbians, not that there is anything wrong with that, it's just I'm not, nor is she attracted to other females. Also, I want you to know that I love you. You were my first love and the most powerful love I have, and it's been that way my entire life. I love you to Hina Heim. I'm just confused about how you and Ino came to be. I don't blame you, as we're a bit confused about it as well, considering how quickly it happened. It wasn't something either Ino or I had planned on happening, it just sort of, did. So last night was the first time the two of you. Hi, that was the first time Ino and I have been intimate with one another in that way. So you're saying neither one of you planned it and that happened quickly, but that still leaves the question of why did it happen? Hinata exhaled a heavy sigh, as she contemplated how to explain everything to Naruto about her and Ino, when she was still unsure of how to explain it to herself. Taking Naruto's hand into her own, Hinata began to speak. Initially, Naru-kun, my relationship with Ino started off as friendship growing up. As we got older, that friendship grew stronger and the bond between us grew deeper, especially after Sakura ended her friendship with Ino because of Sasuke. And as that bond continued to grow, eventually a deep sisterly love began to develop between us. We didn't realize that our sisterly love might continue to grow into something more one day. I was in love and still am with you, and Ino was first in love with Sasuke and then thought she loved Shikamaru. Naruto winced slightly at the mention of Shikamaru's name in conjunction with Ino, as it inadvertently brought back some painful memories. Hinata saw this and gently cupped his cheek with her other hand and said with loving comfort, I said Ino thought she loved Shikamaru and she does, but not in the way that she loves you, Naru-kun. Ino loves Shikamaru as a friend, nothing more, she just got confused about the love she felt for him. Naruto kissed Hinata's palm and nodded his head to the Hyuga girl, who continued on. When I was forced to marry Kiba, it was Ino who was there to help and comfort me during my marriage. And the love and bond that we felt for one another grew even stronger. Even to the point that when Ino asked me if she could pursue a relationship with you, I gave her my blessing, even though it was killing me on the inside to do so. Then why did you do it? I did it because I loved both of you, Naru-kun, and if you and Ino could make one another happy, I didn't want to deny either one of you that happiness because of me. I want you to know, that had I known what would happen between the two of you, I wouldn't have given my blessing to Ino. In a way, I'm just as much at fault for the pain you felt from your breakup with her, as well as the pain you felt when we broke up. You shoulder too much blame. What happened between Ino and me you had no fault in. Well, when it happened, it did put a strain on the relationship between Ino and me for a time. However, you know the old saying, misery loves company. Even though I knew Ino had hurt you, who was I to judge her considering the pain I had caused you by my own betrayal? Eventually, we found ourselves trying to help one another through the pain and heartache we had inflicted upon ourselves of our own doing. And as we helped one another, our love we felt for each other and for you continued to grow into something more. What do you mean the love the two of you held for me? Naru-kun, you know that during my marriage that I never stopped loving you. Well, I can tell you that during Ino's relationship with Shikamaru that she never stopped loving you either. Okay, but how did the two of you still loving me involve the two of you taking your relationship into something more, as you say? Unbeknownst to me, Ino had recognized and started to develop feelings for me beyond the sisterly love we had developed before I did. It wasn't until we were both free from Kiba and Shikamaru and through some inadvertent encouragement on my part that she acted upon it. What do you mean? After Ino arrived here, she and I had a conversation about my renewed relationship with you. It was during our talk that she revealed that she still loved you and that you were one of only two people in her entire life that she loved like that. I pressed Ino and asked couldn't she find happiness with that other person. What did she say? She said that the other person has recently found someone else and that she wouldn't dare think of revealing her feelings to this other person for fear of ruining their friendship if she did. I wanted to see Ino happy and told her that even if this other person is in a relationship, she should still tell them her feelings and let them decide, and well, she did. You mean? Hi. Ino confessed to me that the other person she loved and cared for as much as she did you, Naru-kun, was me. That must have come as a surprise to you. It did, but what happened next was even more shocking. What happened? Ino-chan kissed me. What did you do when she did that? When it happened, I was too stunned to do anything, but after a moment, I pushed her away. I told Ino that I love you Naru-kun and I would never cheat on you, I'd rather die than do that to you. I thank you for that my Haim, but what happened after that? Ino broke down and apologized, fearful that she had ruined our friendship and that I now hated her. I told her that I didn't hate her and that I was just surprised and confused, because I thought Ino loved you. What did Ino-chan say? She said she does love you, but that over the years as she and I grew closer as friends, she also started developing feelings for me while still being madly in love with you. Naruto could only sit in muted silence, as he attempted to understand and process everything he had heard, before Hinata continued on. Naru-kun, I want to be completely honest with you. When Ino kissed me, it was like a switch went off inside of me. I suddenly realized that the feelings Ino-chan felt for me, that I also felt them for her. We both came to know that you are the only man either one of us would truly love and that each of us was the only woman either one could truly love as well. Does that make any sense to you Naru-kun? Hi, it does Hinaheim, I'm not sure why it does, but I think I understand. So is that when the two of you decided you wanted to have a relationship between all three of us. It wasn't really a decision between us, as I was the one to suggest that I would be willing to share you with Ino-chan. I know that sounds bad, but when we both realized that we held a deep love for one another and for you Naru-kun. Neither one of us could bear to see the other one in pain because we were with you and the other was not. I know Ino-chan genuinely loves both you and me and she knows that I genuinely love her and you. And because of the love we both share for you Naru-kun, is why Ino and I took our love that we felt for each other to another level. I know it was an impulsive act on my part, but for some reason it just seemed right to me, as it was the only way I could think of in which no one would be hurt. I'll end it if you want me to, because even though I do love Ino, I don't want to lose you over it. You don't have to do that Haim, your solution to the situation was unique, but I love you and Ino-chan and I'm willing to give the relationship a try. Thank you Naru-kun for giving the three of us a chance. Hinata gratefully stated, as she lovingly hugged Naruto in a warm embrace. Yeah well, there are a lot worse things in life than having to go to bed with two sexy and smoking hot ladies every night and the activities that are soon to follow. Naruto commented in amusement. Naru-kun. Hinata exclaimed in embarrassment, as she blushed furiously, before she asked. Naru-kun do love Yugito-chan. Naruto exhaled a sigh, before he stated in total honesty. I don't know Hinaheim, I do know that I care about her a lot and I feel a kinship with Yugito-chan due to our Jinchuriki status and the life we've had to grow up in because of it, but I don't know if that's love yet. I understand, but please do me a favor if you would Naru-kun. What's that? Find out your true feelings about Yugito-chan. Don't let the opportunity slip away to gain not only some happiness for yourself, but for her as well. But what if we do end up in a relationship? Does that mean Yugito-chan needs to join in with you and Ino-chan? Naruto asked, as a small rivulet of blood began to leak from his nose at the image of a naked Hinata, Ino, and Yugito laying on a large bed, all of them beckoning seductively to him to join, and that suddenly appeared in his mind courtesy of a snickering Kyubi no Yuko. A smack to the back of Naruto's head broke him out of his stupor, as he heard Hinata sternly say. Naru-kun. Sorry. Naruto apologized in succession, as he quickly wiped his nose. Now that I have your attention again, to answer your question, no, that doesn't mean Yugito-chan needs to join in with Ino and me. I already told you the special circumstances about our relationship. Besides, I've already spoken to Yugito-chan about that and she understands and knows she doesn't have to engage in that type of relationship with us if she doesn't want to. You've spoken to Yugito-chan. Yes, and I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told her. The two of you need to talk about your feelings for one another. I know Yugito-chan cares very much for you, that is why Ino and myself don't mind sharing Naru-kun with you. Because if the two of you discover that you do sincerely love one another, then we want the both of you to be happy. I will speak to Yugito-chan, I promise Hinaheim. Naruto stated in honesty before asking. By the way, where is Ino-chan? Well, since Ino has become a part of our lives now, I thought she should get to know Nel-chan better. So, she's out playing with her and Yachiru right now. I hope she ate a full breakfast and lunch today, because those two bundles of energy will run her ragged if I know them. Ha, 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 ha. Naruto cracked in amusement, while laughing, before he clutched his head in obvious pain. Naru-kun, what's wrong? Hinata asked in worried concern. My clone in the Spring Country has been destroyed. I just gained all of its memories. Hinata, I need you to gather all of our friends from the Leaf Village, while I go gather all of the former Shinigamis along with Yugito and Daisuke and have everyone meet me in the main tent ASAP. Hi, I'll do that, but are you sure you're alright? I'll be fine. The sudden influx of information just stunned me for a moment. Please just go find everyone, as I need to share with all of them what I have learned. As Naruto watched Hinata rush out of their tent, he exhaled a heavy sigh and a grim look spread across his face, as he reflected upon what he had just found out, and all he could do was utter one word about the situation in frustration. Damn. A short time later, the main tent was filled with everyone from the Leaf Village save for Kiba and all of the former captain and lieutenants of the Gote 13, as well as Yugito and Daisuke. Everyone was curious as to why Naruto called for this emergency meeting and were talking amongst themselves. However, all conversation ceased when Naruto cleared his throat and announced, I've called all of you here because the clone I had sent to infiltrate the Land of Spring and gather information about our enemy dispersed himself, and I have learned of some valuable intel that I need to share with all of you. What did your clone learn? Kakashi asked. Well, the good news is that the Akatsuki followers under Madara number in the neighborhood of 125 to 150, with the majority of them being of low-level Chunin strength. So we'll be relatively equal in numbers and strength with the men we've trained. Is there bad news? Unfortunately, Kakashi, there is, as Madara has increased his ranks within the main Akatsuki with some new and very powerful members. Who has he added? Naruto-sama. The men he has added won't mean anything to you, Shunsui, but they will mean a great deal to my Leaf Village comrades, as they are old foes that we've fought before in the past. Madara has seen fit to add Orochimaru and Kabuto back into the Akatsuki. A grim visage spread across all of the faces of all of the Konoha shinobi present in the tent. The Shinigami took notice of this and realized that the two men Naruto mentioned must be very powerful and dangerous opponents. However, before anyone could ponder upon this news any further, Naruto's voice spoke up once more and said, Unfortunately, that's not the only additions Madara is making for the Akatsuki. Through use of his Edo Tensei technique, Orochimaru is planning on reviving two more very powerful warriors. He's going to resurrect Kakazu, and I'm sorry to say, Kakashi, he's also going to revive Obito Uchiha. Kakashi stiffened a bit upon hearing that but maintained his composure, as Naruto continued on. Filling out the rest of the Akatsuki are Deidara, Zetsu, and of course Madara himself. So that's 7 really powerful guys, so what? Between you, me, Yoruichi, Shunsui, the demon cat chick and a couple of your buds from your village, we can match them person for person. Kenpachi commented in arrogant confidence. I wish that was the case, Zaraki, but some of these men are extremely powerful and dangerous, and it's going to take more than a one-on-one battle to defeat them. Not for me. You promised me a fight against a foe who could kill me, and that's what I want. If any of you try to help me in my battle, I'll kill you myself. Kenpachi growled in threat. Alright, if that's what you want, then that's what you will get. Naruto snapped in annoyance at the brutish former Gote 13 captain, before stating, As you know, my original plan was to have select individuals take on specific Akatsuki members and remove them, permanently. Has that now changed? Yoruichi questioned. To a point it has, as some of you will be teaming up to take down an Akatsuki member and eliminate them. Also, I had planned to have Zaraki, Yoruichi, Shunsui, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Kurenai each be leading and having a platoon of troops at your disposal. That's now changed. Why has it changed, Naruto? It's changed because originally I thought Madara would have his Akatsuki followers set up in some type of units or platoons, but according to my clone he doesn't. His followers are all massed under one leader or field general for the Uchiha. So do you want to dissolve the platoons we've set up and mass our troops together like Madara has? No, Shunsui, I actually think keeping the 6 combat platoons works to our advantage, as it will give us 6 points of attack onto one massed enemy. However, because I think all of us will be busy in attempting to defeat our opponents, we're not going to have time to command our platoons. So we need our own field general to command all 6 platoons during the battle. Do you have someone in mind, Naru-kun? Hi Hinata, the person I've chosen to lead the Crimson troops is Daisuke. This caught the former bandit by surprise, as he stammered in response. Me. Are you sure you want me to lead your troops into battle, Naruto-sama? You're the best and most logical choice. You know the men better than anyone else in this room and know what their skills and capabilities are. You also know how far you can push them, and according to Shunsui, Kenpachi, and Yoruichi, the men respect you. I've no doubt you will be an excellent general for the troops, Daisuke. Thank you, Naruto-sama, I will not fail you. Daisuke stated in earnest, while bowing in respect towards Naruto. I know you won't. Now I need you to look over the files of the 6 platoons and choose a single man from each platoon to lead that unit as one of your lieutenants. Choose wisely, as you need men who are not only brave, strong, and smart, but also a man that the troops in each platoon will follow and respect. Also begin preparations to break camp, as I want our forces to leave tomorrow for the spring country. I shall attend to it at once, Naruto-sama. Daisuke replied, before gathering the files and exiting the tent. Alright, I'm tired of waiting. I want to know which one of these Akatsuki assholes I'm going to be fighting, and he better be powerful. Kenpachi declared with impatience. Zaraki, the man you're facing is Kakazu. Is he strong? Can he possibly kill me in the fight? The eye patch wearing Shinigami asked, as he was almost giddy with anticipation. Yes, he can. Kakazu is almost impossible to kill, and as for his strength, he once fought and survived against Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage and founder of my village, who is considered the strongest shinobi to have ever lived. This Akatsuki member has an extremely high combat prowess and a vast array of techniques, and he is also a complete psychopath. I can assure you that he will give you the bloody and violent fight you so desperately crave, Kenpachi. Kenpachi's response to hearing this was to grin wickedly from ear to ear in excitement. What about the rest of us? Sasuke questioned. After studying the various members of the Akatsuki, I've decided upon the following individuals and who they will face in the upcoming battle. A pall of silence engulfed the room like a shroud of death, as everyone anxiously awaited to hear who their opponent would be. Naruto cleared his throat, breaking the silence, and announced. The leader of the Akatsuki is Madara, and he will be your opponent, Sasuke, and mine. Both Naruto and Sasuke glanced at one another before nodding their heads in agreement, as Naruto continued on. Kakashi, you will face. I will face Obito. Kakashi declared with authority, leaving no room for debate by the tone of his voice. I figured as much. Yes, Obito will your opponent. Naruto replied with a smirk before continuing. Shunsui, you will face Orochimaru in battle. The straw hat wearing Shinigami merely nodded his head in acceptance. Yoruichi, you will face the Snake Team's protege Yakushi Kabuto. Sound like fun. The Neko woman quipped. Don't underestimate Kabuto, because if you do, then you will be dead. Naruto warned in earnest. Kurenai-sensei, you will face along with Momo aiding you the Akatsuki member Deidara. Kurenai and Momo looked towards each other and nodded. Ino, Ikaku, and Yumikika will meet Zetsu in battle. Ino glanced over at the bald Shinigami and his effeminate comrade, before she nodded to Naruto. Finally, Hinata, Sakura, and Kira will man the medical platoon. Sakura, I want to say thank you for helping us in this battle to free the Spring Country. Hi, Naruto. Sakura timidly answered, still unsure of what to say to her former teammate and boyfriend of long ago. What about me, Naruto? Yugito asked in confusion at the prospect of not facing an opponent. Yugito, with your speed and your Jinchuriki form of the two-tailed Nibi, I need you to be a wild card and go from battle to battle and help out if you see that anyone is in trouble in their fight. Don't even think about helping me out in my fight, kitty cat. If you do, I will gut you like a fish in an instant. Kenpachi threatened in warning. Fine, you can help everyone else except Zaraki. Naruto groaned in annoyance, before adding. Now I want all of you to take these files I've got on each of your Akatsuki opponents and study them thoroughly. They contain all the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent and should provide you the information you need to develop a strategy against them. As everyone gathered their respective files and began exiting the tent to go and study them, Naruto stopped Yugito and nervously asked. Yugito-chan, I was wondering if you would like to join me for dinner tonight. You mean have dinner with you, Hinata, and Ino? No, just you and me. Nah, Naruto-kun, are you asking me on a date? Yugito stammered in query, hoping the excitement she was feeling wasn't evident in the tone of her voice. Well, I guess I am asking you out on a date. I would like very much to join you for dinner, Naruto-kun. Naruto smiled brightly, before he leaned down and kissed Yugito on the cheek, causing her to blush madly, as he held the flap of the tent open for her and they joined the others outside. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.